Okay, good afternoon. I'm happy to be here with the members of the Board of Supervisors of Elections for the town of Bladensburg. And I wanted to, before they formally start their meeting, just go through a little staff update and talk through some issues, and then we'll get started with the formal meeting of the Board of Election Supervisors. So I'll first make note of the fact that we have a mask mandate that was approved by the council.
I know who you are. He probably does.
Oh, I should, yes. So I did say introductions would be first on the agenda. So I'll start with, I'm Bob McRory. I'm the new town administrator. I started work here 1 month ago. This is my second bout of service with the town of Bladensburg. I was here for 7 years, previously ending in 2005.
Okay.
So I'm pleased to be back here and pleased to support your work on elections. And if y'all would introduce yourselves for the benefit of the folks who are watching from home.
My name is Owen Clark. Been living in Bladensburg for the past 30 years.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Clark.
My name is Myrtle Lane, and I live in Emerson House, and I've been there now for 8 years,
Wonderful.
and on the committee for 3 years.
Okay, thank you. And Ms. Williams by phone. Do you want to introduce yourself, Ms. Williams?
Did she mute?
Don't know if she can. Ms. Williams, can you hear me? We've got Pat Williams participating by phone. So I just wanted, but Kim, you could introduce yourself too, if you would.
My name is Kim Green. I work for the police department. I'm the communication supervisor.
And since she's not sitting super close to a microphone, I'll just repeat, that's Kim Green, communications supervisor with the police department. And we have on the phone Pat Williams, who is another member of the Board of Supervisors of Elections. Thank you.
Your name is Bob?
Clark. Owen
Mr. Clark.
Owen Clark.
So just briefly, I've got a good amount of interest in and experience working with elections. I went to Bosnia as a representative of the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe on a diplomatic mission during the 1998 elections soon after the Civil War there. We had armed guards from the United Nations guarding the polling places, and I was there as an election supervisor to make sure the elections were conducted freely and fairly.
Wow.
So
That's
that
great.
was, we received training in avoiding landmines, which were abundant, and
That should have
thankfully
been
I came
interesting.
back with my limbs intact, but it was a very exciting and stressful time, and I was pleased to support the United Nations mission to assure free and fair elections. And as a sign of how important people felt about voting in their elections, the location I was in had been depopulated during the Civil War there of a minority population were driven out, and they were bussed in under armed guards, folks who could not read or write included among them, and they would vote by dipping their finger in ink so that they were sure they weren't voting twice.
Wow.
But they literally risked their lives to come participate in the election process.
Okay.
I've also done some work with union elections under court supervision. The International Brotherhood of Teamsters with 1.5 million members did a mail election. I've worked on that. 3 different elections for the International Brotherhood of Teamsters leadership. Worked on the FOP, Fraternal Order of Police election in Washington, D.C. And in my roles in municipal service, I've been a participant and or supervised the conduct of roughly a dozen municipal elections. So I have a good amount of experience and interest in this. I've also worked as an election judge for my home county in the most recent 3 primary and national elections for the United States. So I'm very pleased to be back in Bladensburg supporting the terrific efforts of you all, and want to assist in any way possible. So I just wanted to go over, we've put together some dates, and I wanted to show you my scratched up information from yesterday. The charter describes in detail the conduct of elections, but there have been changes since the last election, or since, I guess, shortly before the 2019 election. So I just wanted to refamiliarize myself because I've been away from Bladensburg for quite a while, and those changes I needed to familiarize myself with, and Kim and I helpfully went through these, and we're sort of backing through the nested dates here. So you've got in your packets a list of dates and deadlines, and these are based on the information that was provided in 2019 that's also in your packet. So just for consistency, wanted to show that we're doing the same thing as has been done in prior elections,
Okay.
with a couple of modest additions. So we have an advertising deadline or a window under section 304 of the charter to advertise between 45 and 30 days prior to the election.
Okay.
So that window opens in August 20th.
That's the time.
That's
Okay.
also the deadline to file as a candidate, August 20th, and at 5 p.m. That would be when town hall closes. And that's also the first date to obtain an absentee ballot application.
Okay.
So after the candidates have filed, you can, we will issue the absentee ballot applications, and people can request them. They can be done either by mail or picked up in person. The deadline to register to vote under the charter, we rely on the county voter registration process. And so the county allows for online voter registration, so that can be done up to 30 days prior to the election. So we would ask the county government to provide us with the list of valid voters as of 30 days prior to the election. Since the 30th day falls on a weekend, that can be done online up through September 6th at midnight.
Okay.
And then deadline for write-in candidates, receipt of an ethics form if there are candidates who wish to participate in the election as write-in candidates. There's a deadline for them that is September 27th. The deadline for absentee ballot applications to be received by the town is September 20th at 5 p.m. per section 309 of the charter. If there are no filed candidates, there is a deadline to accept write-in candidates. That's October 4th under section 312 of the charter. And then the deadline to submit absentee ballots under section 310E is the same as the election time. And I believe that specifies, what's on the page is 7 p.m. And I
Right.
just want to look and see if that got changed under the resolution extending voting hours. So let me just cross-reference that.
It said election October 7th, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 p.m. is the last. Everything has to be in by 7.
Up until the close of polls. Okay, so that's a
Right,
typo
yeah.
that should have been corrected as well. So at the bottom, that should be extended to 8 p.m. as well, second to
Okay, it
last.
should be 8 instead of 7?
Correct, yep. So
Okay.
the deadline to turn in absentee ballots on election day would also be 8 p.m. on October 4th. And then election day is described under section 308, and it's October 4th, first Monday in October, and that's 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. The council on Monday adopted a resolution that took effect immediately, which was to extend an additional hour on election day.
Okay.
So that's, the polls will now close at 8 p.m. And I think it would be worth, because that only applies to this election, it would be worthwhile to quantify how many voters come in that last hour between 7 and 8 p.m., so that in the future, the council might consider a charter change to make that a permanent change.
Okay.
As the charter stands now, both the council and the Board of Supervisors of Elections have the authority under the charter to extend polling hours. So say there's a hurricane or a power outage or something dramatic that were to happen, you could adapt to that
Okay.
by a simple vote. So that's my review of the dates. Based on the charter requirements. And then if we could, I'd suggest, is Ms. Williams on the phone again? Okay. What I would suggest then is that the board give us the approval, once you've called into session, to formalize these dates and times, and we will then publicize that through our normal publication channels on the website, through social media, et cetera.
Okay.
and with our email blast. And then we'd ask that there is not currently a town clerk in town service, and some of the formal requirements serving you from a staff perspective are to be performed by the town clerk. So I would ask that the board delegate authority for us to issue absentee ballots at the desk and do all that
That's fine.
stuff on
That's
behalf of
fine.
the board. And I'd like you to formalize that with the vote.
Okay.
And then you could set a next meeting date, because after the filing deadline, the board has a role in certifying the candidates as having met the requisite qualifications to run for office.
Okay.
So that would be, there's age and residency requirements, and providing a financial disclosure form as per the town's ethics ordinance.
And you said it could be any time after the 20th, right?
Yes, ideally, I think it should be as soon as practical after the 20th, so
Like-
that,
Like a Monday or a Tuesday after that?
that would be fine. Yep.
Okay.
I mean, we're here to serve you, so you pick a time that suits you, and
Would
we'll
you
have somebody
Mr.
there
Clark?
to assist.
Monday or Tuesday, the 20, after the 20th, it would be the 23rd or 24th.
What day is the 20th?
The 20th is on Friday, but we have to do it
Friday.
after that.
Okay.
So Monday or
Make it
Tuesday,
Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Make it Wednesday.
Okay, so we're gonna do Wednesday, the 24th, October 24th.
Wednesday, September
I'm sorry,
24th.
August 24th.
No, August 24th. Yes,
I'm
thank
sorry,
you.
August 24th.
I think that's the 25th, actually. The Wednesday, right, you said?
Yes, Wednesday. I'm sorry,
That's
you're
okay.
right,
I just wanna make
25th,
sure we're all on the same page.
25th.
Wednesday, August 25th, and do you have a time in mind?
I guess the same time.
What time the office closes?
Hmm,
What time the office closes?
We close at
5. Is that someone?
Make it somebody.
Same time, 2 o'clock,
How are you?
2?
Come on in, I'm Bob
Between,
McGrory.
between,
Yeah, us, for us,
between 2 and 5.
yeah. Yeah,
Rather than specific, between 2 and 5.
okay, 2 o'clock?
No, I
Like
said between 2 and 5.
between 2 and 5,
Yeah.
okay, but we still
Is
have
that-
to be
Is
here.
that too much of a wide margin?
Not really. Hello,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Joyce Lee.
Myrtle Lane and
Clark.
Mr. Clark.
Yeah. You worked here last time, right?
I worked at,
Last election.
when there was the election for the mayor.
Yes, yeah, I remember this, yes.
Um,
I don't remember.
so,
I don't
but we
remember
need a
names.
time,
Yeah, between 2 and 5.
between 2 and 5, but we have to give them a set time. That's what I'm saying. The 2 or 5 doesn't do it, we need to give them a set time.
If you could do 2 o'clock, again, same in meeting time as today, that would
Okay.
Okay.
be straightforward.
Go with it.
Okay.
And if
that's
it
fine.
needs to change, we'll communicate this to everybody by phone and email.
Okay,
So if that needs to change, we can adjust. Okay, so at the point where you're formally in session, we'll set the meeting for August 25th at 2 PM to certify the candidates,
yes.
and anything else that needs to be decided at that point. And then the other thing that came up in prior discussion was electronic voting, and I'm told the machines worked fine the last time, and
They
we do
did.
have a contract for
Very simple.
renewing that
It was
same
easy,
company's service.
simple and easy for everyone.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll get that contract signed, and we'll move forward with them and facilitate that. So at this time, Ms. Williams, and I can catch you up on some of the things I said earlier, and this is being recorded, so it'll be available on YouTube and social media platforms. But I would now suggest that we call the meeting to order, and then if you can all elect, Ms. Lane said she was willing to serve as the chair for the purposes of this meeting. And so we can accomplish that, and then she can run the meeting, and we'll get our questions answered and get you out of here. So with that, is there a motion to approve Myrtle Lane as the chair of the
Yeah.
Board of Supervisors of Elections?
Yes, here.
Okay, Mr. Clark moved, and Ms. Williams second. And all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed?
Nay.
Me-
Okay. Congratulations. And at this time,
Congratulations, man.
that's the-
Yes, Ms. Williams?
Oh, level.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let me catch you
Me.
up. This is Bob McGrory speaking, and I'm gonna hold the phone closer. Hi, Ms. Williams. I'm gonna hold the phone closer so you can hear. There was just, that we called the meeting to order, and Ms. Lane was just elected to serve as chair. So if you would like your vote cast, you can say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so that's.
Thank you, Miss Williams.
You're quite welcome.
So that's terrific.
And you're
Okay.
vice chair.
And so, now, Ms. Lane, if I may, the formal business at hand would then be to approve the election schedule with the one correction of extending the deadline to turn in absentee ballots from 7
Yes.
PM to 8 PM. Is there a motion to approve those dates?
Yes, that's fine. I agree. Yes.
Okay, so Ms. Williams, will give you credit for making the motion to approve the dates. And is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Okay, thank you. And
Is that two Miss Williams?
that's right, oh, yes, good point.
What's your first name, Bob?
Joyce.
Joyce? Okay.
And then, Ms. Lane, do you want to call for the vote on that approval of the dates motion?
Yes.
I'm sorry, repeat that again, I'm getting some feedback.
Sure. So I was just asking the chair, Ms. Lane, to call for the vote on approving the dates as provided in the packets, with the one change to adjust the deadline for turning in absentee ballots from 7 PM to 8 PM.
Yeah.
So, all in favor of that motion?
All in favor
Aye.
of the
Aye.
motion? Okay, that's
Okay.
4 ayes.
Thank you, that's 4 ayes. And then the last piece of business would be, and I'm just gonna scribble this out so it's clear to everyone with my messy writing.
That's okay.
But that would be a motion to authorize the staff to act on behalf of the Board of Elections for the purposes of facilitating issuance of ballots and such other matters as may be necessary. So-
Yes. Okay.
Nope, darker pen
You don't have a black one?
Look one.
here.
Yeah, right there. There we go.
Okay, so necessary tasks on behalf of the Board of Supervisors of Elections. So the motion that I'm requesting would be to authorize the town staff to issue absentee ballots and perform other necessary tasks on behalf of the Board of Supervisors of Elections.
Okay.
So would someone make that motion? Or another motion that you think is appropriate?
That motion, is it appropriate with you? In other words,
Yes, it
he's
is,
saying
it is.
that, you know, the ballots,
Right, right, I
they will be able to
understand,
get the ballots out
They
and get
didn't
them.
replace Debbie.
Huh?
They didn't replace Debbie.
No, her and him, she's gonna do it. The
No,
call.
I mean, she was here before. They didn't replace her.
No,
Oh,
not
not
yet.
yet?
Mm-mm. No, not yet.
It's over a year or something.
Yeah, it's been 2 years. Yeah.
Right.
Yes, so everyone approved?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
Okay, so I'm gonna
that's 4.
I'm going to make note of Mr. Clark. We'll give you credit for making the motion then, if you would. And is there a second to the motion?
I second it.
Okay. Seconded by Ms. Williams by phone. And then, Madam Chair, if you want to call for the vote?
Okay, if all agree, nay, or yes, or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, for
Ms. Williams?
Ms.
Is that it?
I'm
Williams?
sorry, she's breaking up. I
I'm
can't
sorry.
hear her.
That's fine. She asked for a vote on the motion, so you could say yay or yes, or nay or no?
Yes.
Yes, okay, so that's
So
4
it's
votes
4.
to approve that. Fantastic, thank you. And just go back to my agenda and see.
Okay.
And then the last item of business was to set the date for August 25th was provisionally set in discussion for August 25th at 2 p.m.
Right.
Is that acceptable to everyone by
Right,
consensus?
right. Thank
Yes.
you.
Agree.
Yeah, that was
And what is August 25th for?
That's a Wednesday. That'll be to certify the candidates. So the filing deadline for candidates is August 20th, and so the staff will have all the paperwork together with the necessary financial disclosures and candidate information, and we'll put that in front of the Board of Supervisors of Elections for your formal approval of the candidates. At the point where you've approved it, then the staff can prepare the ballots to be provided for absentee ballots issuance, and we can have the contractors do the work to put the names on the electronic voting devices.
Okay.
Okay. So, I think that concludes all the things that I can think of that may be necessary for you all. Are there other things that I've missed?
As far as I can see, I don't think so. Everything has went according, yes.
Okay. Well, if you have questions on the charter or the conduct of the elections or anything else that comes up before your next meeting, August 25th, please feel free to reach out to Kim Green or me.
Okay.
We'll be
um,
absolutely available to you to assist.
I have her number. I don't have your number.
I will give it to you.
Okay.
Very good.
Conduct of the elections.
So, yeah, go ahead.
The last time we had some problems with the conduct of the election. Last time we had some problems with voters stepping in to the voting area,
Like,
and some of them getting too close, and there
Yeah.
was a little bit of
because according to the rules and regulations, only one person for the candidate can be in here, at the closing of the election.
Yeah.
Sometime we've had a problem with more than one under that problem. So that
okay.
needs to be stated and followed through, like the rules and regulations. They can't just come in.
Okay.
It's only one.
That's fine. So just to restate that, if I'm understanding correctly, the board's wish is that only one representative per candidate be allowed in the room during the counting process. Is that
Exactly.
correct?
Yes.
And is that also true during the election process, that they can sit and observe the election process if they wish, but they can't interfere with the conduct of voting or anything like that?
We haven't really thought about it because usually we don't let anyone in until the closing and the end of the election.
Okay.
Yeah. As far as observing, no, not until the end of the election.
Okay. That's clear.
But,
Thank you.
isn't that right, Mr.?
Yes, which one is not here?
Huh?
Which one is not here?
Oh. No. No. That was a misprint. It's Mr.
He was ahead.
Mendez and Ms. Carlotta. Those are the two, and the mayor. See, yeah, those three, right there. Them three. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. I
Good.
think
Any
we'd
other
agree.
questions? Thank you for raising that point. Let's be
Anything
proactive about
else?
solving problems before they arise this round, if that was an issue last time.
Yeah. Miss Williams, you have a question?
No, I not at this time.
Okay.
Okay.
But do you agree with what we just stated about the one person in at the end of?
The call is breaking up because so I get some of it, but I don't get all of it.
So the consensus here, and I'll just try and restate it for the record, and I'll go to the microphone as well. The consensus here is that it should be the case that only one representative per candidate should be permitted in the room after the polls close during the counting process. Did I restate that correctly?
I agree with that.
Okay, terrific. So then there's consensus on that as well. Okay, we'll make sure that guidance is formalized and clear to all the candidates once we know who they are.
Campaigning.
Okay.
Is campaigning permitted on the day of the election?
Campaigning is campaigning is permitted. What's often the case is there's a specific distance limit from the polling place so that voters
Exactly.
aren't interfered with by the candidates and can feel comfortable accessing the polls.
They're usually out there.
So I don't know off the top of my head what that distance is. My
Yeah, they're
recollection
usually
years
out there.
ago was
Usually
that it was-
where those trucks are parked. out there, yeah,
Yeah,
that's the distance,
yeah. So my sense is the far side of the parking lot would be eligible. And the
Clark.
staff can mark
Get
out
up
those
way out
boundaries.
there. No, Mr. Clark. He wants to send a well, no. No, the parking lot is fine.
Okay. So we will make sure candidates, that there's a clear passage for folks to come up and
Right.
access the polls, and the candidates will be on the far side of the parking lot. And that is my
Okay.
recollection from prior
I
municipal
have another
elections.
question. Kate, is it Kate?
Kim,
Kit,
Yes.
I have a question. I know, will we have to come through the town council, I guess? Because usually, I know last year, they had, and Mr., what, the one that's not doing it, he used to pick up the voters and
Yep.
bring them down. Is that still going to be effective this year?
They need, like, getting a ride down here to vote, is what you're saying?
Yes,
We can
ma'am.
get them a ride, we'll figure that out for you guys.
Okay,
Yep.
just wanted to make sure that was
no,
possible.
that's a great question, and I would say, why don't we commit to having an answer for you on that by the time you meet on August 25th,
That'll work.
so that we can communicate that equitably to the entire voting population.
That'll work.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Okay, any other business for the good of the order?
So, exactly what are the positions that they're gonna be voting on? I see it's time to vote for another mayor?
Yes, it's going to be on
And
the
the
second
coun-
page, the mayor.
Council member Ward 1 and council member Ward 2, those are the three?
Yes.
Yes, yep.
Okay.
Those three up there at the top. The three, the mayor, Miss Lundy, and Mr., I can't pronounce his name.
Mendoza.
Mendoza.
Yep.
Those are the three.
That time seemed to have gone so fast.
That's what I was telling him.
I mean, for mayor, we already,
No.
it's been 4 years?
It's 4
It's
years.
hard to believe, isn't
I
it?
thought was
Time
2
flies.
terms.
Huh?
I
Yep.
thought it was 2 terms. So she
If we elect her, it's 2 terms.
okay. I know.
Yeah, this is her this is her first term, yeah.
Okay.
If she gets elected again, that'll be her 2 term. It's only 4. Well, yeah. Yeah, so it's just those 3 that's gonna be reelected.
I've seen her too, but the young lady on the other side, I don't know. She's been there.
These two
Which
people-
one?
These two are
Top or
elected.
bottom?
Yeah, the top.
They were
Yeah,
replaced-
Miss Lindsay,
replacing
yeah,
the-
Miss Lindsay.
Oh.
She took Miss,
Somebody see.
the one that our councilman for her, she passed away.
Oh, the lady that.
Yes, so she took her place, and then the year that we had there, like, she got elected
Okay.
into her spot.
Okay.
Yeah, she passed away, she took over, the end of the year, and then she got elected into the spot. So her term is up. Yeah.
Okay, anything else? Any other questions or thoughts? Given that, Madam Chair, you can receive a motion to adjourn, and we can adjourn the meeting, and we'll prepare some minutes and see you again on August 25th.
Okay. I will now bring the meeting to a close. If we have no more questions, do we all agree? Agree by saying yes or nay? Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Okay.
All agree.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I look forward to working with you.
All agree. Yeah.
Appreciate your service.
You're welcome, sir.
I know you know Miss Sojourner.